God. That's great. That's good. Oh, man.
I'll tell you though.
I wish we had like recruiting news or anything, but I haven't been keeping up, and that's what we have Gabby for whenever he comes on.
Right? It's Gabby's job.
That is Gabby's job, dude. I'm so like I go on these like the last cycle just ended. Like I want to intro the 2022 class a little bit, but now I'm ready to take a break again.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because like most of these fans, they're more into it than I am, and I have to actually like write about it. It's nuts to me.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of people do know what they're talking about, so I'm not, trying to say that. But for me, like, watching junior tape, I'm not the kind of like X's and O's guy, where it's like it's not going to do a whole lot for me to watch right now. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm totally fine taking a 6-month break, and then as we get closer to signing day and stuff, and the recruitments really heat up, like that's when I start to care, right? So
yeah, I think maybe like as we get closer to summer, I feel like that's when recruiting really started to pick up last year at least, and so that's probably when I'll start to pay more attention. But
yeah,
as for right now, man, it's hard.
Yeah, I feel you.
It's hard to be like, and I'd rather just talk about like our current team,
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you. And I mean, how much is there to say until the spring starts? Like my opinion's already formed. It's, our defense is going to be marginally better at most. And, hopefully our offense is better than last year. I think they should be. So
they will be if we pass Will Mallory the ball more.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a huge thing this year.
Yeah, and I would really love to see one of our running backs have a breakout year.
Yeah, or just like I'd like to see them all get like 500 yards or like 500, 600, and 400 yards. Like I just want more balance. I want more consistency from Cam Harris.
Yeah.
Do you ever
just special, man? Like
on a side note, I guess you're married, but dude, there are so many times where I'm on Instagram and I see these happy couples, and and I'm like, damn, why are you in a relationship?
You want to know the secret about that, about those happy pictures?
They're not happy.
They're just smiling for the camera, man. Like relationships are awesome, but it's hard work. It's not easy. So
yeah,
it's like, I mean, you know from experience that like being in relationships is as awful as it is good, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have a relationship like experience, so that's the crazy thing.
Well, tell you what, man, expect it to be a freaking battle. So it's a let's see, it's a labor of passion, right? Or a labor of love.
I like
that. It's like building the podcast, It's like sometimes you wish you had never had the idea to make a podcast, and other days you feel like you're on top of the world. So
yeah, that's true. I feel like it's been the latter a whole lot more though.
Yeah, I agree, man.
Like you're very, very excited.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's been amazing.
For sure. But yeah, dude, the month till spring football. Do you think people get a little too excited for spring ball?
Yeah, but I mean, we're fanatics, right? We're crazy people.
Well, but like I'm trying to force, like I'm excited, but I also feel like we just like the season literally just ended.
I think I'll be a lot more excited when the Jazz season is over.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I love the Canes, and it would be really hard for me to pick between the Jazz and the Canes, but while the Jazz are just rolling people, it's like I am still thinking about football, but it's not what's occupying the front of my brain right now. So
yeah, dude, that's the crazy thing. Like we get a lot of questions, whether it's on like for this podcast or on the radio show to like talk, and it makes sense to talk about Canes football because this is a Canes football podcast. But I can go a few weeks and a few months without talking about football.
Yeah.
Like I really can.
Yeah.
But like some people just want to talk it 24/7.
Yeah, dude, there are some people on the Twitter sphere that are animals with how much and I mean that in a kind way. Like they're machines when it comes to talking about football. Like they're relentless.
Yeah, they really like it's crazy to me. Like I have to like at least engage a little bit, like to give me some material to write my
Yeah.
articles or something like that. But
Yeah.
like I'm like, guys, go play video games. Go hang out
Well,
with your families.
yeah, and I don't know, man. And speaking of which, if you'll give me a moment to soapbox, because I've been waiting for this. All
Oh,
right,
please.
is that and I mean no offense, because I know you're a Heat fan, but people have been on me about I've been Rudy Gobert's biggest hype man, the last year and a half or two, and I have a platform where thousands of people will listen to me say this, and they can't respond at all, except for on Twitter, but I can ignore them. And I just want to point out that Bam Adebayo had 14 points on 17 shots against Rudy Gobert. And so, I think he's worth that 200 million. And he's the best player on the best team in the NBA right now.
I've never understood the like why so many Heat fans like hate Rudy Gobert. Like it's okay to admit that Rudy and Bam are good.
Yeah,
Like,
they're both good. Bam's good. That's not what I'm saying.
Bam is still learning, dude. Bam is still learning the offensive game, and
yeah,
like is like Rudy's been consistent for a number of years now.
yeah, he has. And I actually love Bam as an NBA fan. Like Bam will be just fine. It's just because I've heard the smack talk all year, and they had, Rudy got the better of Bam last night, so I just had to point that out to everyone. But Bam's gonna be okay.
I bet you were just smiling watching that game last night.
Oh yeah. Well, I was nervous. And here's the thing is like I understand that the Jazz are going to drop one here or there, right? So I'm not going to be super gutted when they lose their next game, because it's been an incredible season so far. It just couldn't be that Heat game, dude. It really could not be that Heat game. That was the game that I've been most nervous about this whole year, because I did not need the smack talk,
Yeah. Bro, that's the worst. Oh my gosh, that's the worst.
Like, I mean, could you imagine going on a 15-game win streak? No one gives you any credit, and then we lose to the Heat, and then everyone's in my mentions like, "Oh, you guys suck. Told you it was fake." It's like, no, we beat everyone.
No. Oh gosh. No, dude. I woke up to my group message just exploding because they're all Jazz fans, and they're like, "Hey, what the hell, bro?"
They sound like great people.
they're diehard Jazz fans. Like they talk about the Jazz like all day in our group text.
It's pretty much a religion here in Utah. Like there isn't anything that unites the people of Utah more than the Utah Jazz.
I love the relationship that the Jazz have to their fans.
Yeah.
Like it almost feels like a college team.
Yeah, it does. And actually, that's probably the closest thing that we have here to like the SEC type, adoration of the football team is how people feel about the Jazz, because BYU and Utah fans hate each other. The Salt Lake metro area is split pretty evenly on that. But they will come together and be brothers as Jazz fans,
Brothers in arms.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man. Okay, what else do we need to talk about?
I don't think anything, man.
I wish we could have just kept talking to Brad.
I'm sure we could have, but it just would have turned into a Chris Farley interview. I reference that every time we talk, but it makes me giggle every time.
Remember when you won that bowl game?
Hey, remember when you got your tooth knocked out?
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, that was kind of funny when he said, I don't know if this was on purpose, but when he said, "Yeah, I think the last quarterback to win a bowl game was me."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh, you sly bastard."
It's true though.
How sad is that though? He's the only player in 15 years to win a bowl game at quarterback.
Dude, Brad gets severely disrespected by the fan base.
I don't know why.
I mean, think about it. We've had 15 garbage years. He's the only one to win a bowl game, and he's the all-time program leader in passing.
And he did it in 3 years.
Yeah. And he changed head coaches. You know what I mean? Like, he had different offensive coordinators. So 2 different coaches in 3 years.
Dude, yeah, it's crazy that his last year was the first year of Mark. Like, that seems like so long ago.
Yeah, it is. Well, did he have 3 different offensive coordinators? Who is our coordinator? Oh, it's James Coley. No, so
I was on my mission, so I have no idea.
Yeah, so we had James Coley. I can't think of where he is now, but he was an FSU
He's at Georgia,
dude.
I think.
Okay, yeah. So he was our OC the whole time Brad was there, I think, because he recruited Brad out of high school.
Wow. And I'm happy that he's on the Jake Garcia train.
Yep.
He actually knew a lot about him.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. And when he says that he doesn't follow recruiting like anymore, like, dude, if I was a former player, I wouldn't follow recruiting at all.
Oh yeah, there's no way, dude.
I hate following recruiting now.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, I don't know. It must just be different for guys like that, because and by I just mean former players, because like, we've spent our whole lives like loving the U from a distance, right? And I think part of that's because the closest that we can get is being a fan. But I mean, you must just have a different relationship with it when you play, It's like,
and I love that he's like, he did his football, like he did his time at football, but now he's on to like other things.
Yeah.
I think that's so awesome.
Oh yeah, dude. It's, there's I'm always intrigued by people from like a human standpoint, when they get the choice to, they have multiple options for greatness, right? Like Kyler Murray. And there's one of the European heavy metal bands I listen to. There's one of them has a woman's lead singer that she chose between like a modeling career in New York and being the singer for a popular heavy metal band. So, like, people that are faced with those kind of choices, like, that's crazy to me, man. And Brad's one of those dudes.
Yeah.
Maybe not to the level of Kyler Murray, but it's like, there are tens of millions of people, if not more, that wish they could work in Hollywood. And there's just as many, if not more, that wish they could play in the NFL. The dude got to choose.
Yeah. It is really, really cool.
Yeah. It's insane.
Yeah, we could just like talk to him about like the bowl game, but we could also talk to him about like movies.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Good stuff. Okay. When should we do this again?
Whenever, dude. Well, let's try to get 2 in this week, because the following week I will be unavailable.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I'm not even taking my laptop. I'm so excited.
Bro, I told you, man. I'm not going to act like I told you. I'm not going to ask you to do it while you're there. You better enjoy that vacation. You better fucking eat all that you can.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. I'm so jealous, honestly.
I can't wait, man. Yeah, I might pull a Brad and just put my phone on airplane mode. No Twitter. I think I'm gonna delete the Twitter app off my phone. Let's see if I can do it.
I do that all the time.
I'm low key addicted, but it's not like my Mountain Dew addiction, where I absolutely love my Mountain Dew addiction. It's it's a negative addiction in my life is Twitter. So we'll see if I'm able to stay off of it the whole time, but I'm certainly going to try.
Oh, dude, it's the best. Like, sometimes I delete the Twitter app and I just go a few days. I think that's important.
Yeah. So,
like, when you're on Twitter all day, every day, that's no fun.
Yeah.
You just look back and say, wow, I really just wasted a day.
Yeah, and I feel like it waters down your personal relationships, because like the whole time you're spending time with people, your brain is elsewhere. You're thinking, well, like, the second you get bored in reality, like, your brain wants to go somewhere else.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Like, you can't, like, you're just like constantly thinking about, oh man, what the recruiting or the linebacker play. Oh,
right.
Oh, De'Ara King, third down conversion.
Yep.
Oh
I'm with you,
God.
man.
Not nothing against the people on Twitter, but
Oh yeah, I mean, there's plenty of great people, but